Hello there. Happy Tuesday. I came on about 30 seconds early, so waiting till 5:30. I have the go ahead.
It's still 5:29, but you're here.
Oh, it's 5:29, but that's okay.
Is with us.
Welcome to Tuesday. I hope you had a nice day so far today. And we're still looking through the Torah portion. Yesterday we looked at the opening moment where we're told that before us, every moment of every day, we have a choice to act right or to act negatively. And today there is another interesting moment in the Torah portion where it's actually there's a strangeness to the two lines that I'm going to tell you about. One of them says that there will be no needy. There will be no one that is poor within the Israelite community. And then later on it says, when one of your brothers or sisters is poor, do not harden your heart to them. And I was thinking about those moments when I just walk right by people who may be in need. And I was thinking it's like the city is so big and there are so many people and so many that are homeless and so many that need us, that it's very easy to, usually it's around a 7-Eleven or a Starbucks or something where there's someone that needs. And I try, if I'm going into a store and using cash, to bring my change out and give it to the person that's needy there. But there are some times where my heart is hardened towards these people, where I'm not open. And so I thought that one of the things we could explore today is, what are those moments when you feel as if your heart closes? It could be that there's a relative that just sits in you strangely and your heart is just not open to them. It could be someone who was a friend. It could be someone who was never a friend. But there are those people that we come into contact with and we just are not as open to them as we are to others, perhaps as we are to our family members or as we are to our friends. And I understand it. We can't be friends with everybody, but it doesn't mean we have to harden our hearts towards them. Whenever I think of that phrase, hardening the heart, I always think of Pharaoh. And all that hardening the heart did for him was to cause more anguish in his country and inside of himself. And so when you think about whether we harden our hearts to others or open our hearts, that hardening doesn't benefit us. In fact, one might say that it brings about kind of a negative vibe inside of our bodies and inside of our souls, where we're not open, we're just closed off from the possibility of love and empathy and compassion for our fellow human beings. So perhaps as we're thinking and our minds are swirling when we're trying to concentrate on our breaths, and you're noticing the kinds of thoughts that accompany you today, maybe a little bit of a check-in to notice, is this a hardened heart? Is there something that's keeping me from opening myself up to somebody? Perhaps it's something that they did. Perhaps it's something you heard about them. Maybe it is that you just never have had the kinds of positive experiences with a person that you'd like, and so it leaves you cold and it leaves you hard, and it's difficult to open back up to that person. Perhaps that's something that we can reflect upon as we're meditating as well. You know, it's funny, I think during these meditations that I give us something to think about and then I tell us not to think, to just kind of clear ourselves and allow space so that our thoughts can come into a still, not necessarily an empty space, because we're never going to be completely empty, but I think that what I'm trying to do is put out a kind of intention and then see where our thoughts align with that intention. And to just kind of point out those moments in our everyday lives where we can tweak a little bit. And I think this is one of those beautiful teachings from the Torah that says there may be someone who needs. If we close ourselves off, if we harden our hearts, then how is that person ever going to come out of dire straits? Or how is that person ever going to come back into our friendship fold if it's someone that we know that we're just hardening our hearts towards them? And then, of course, if we're aware of the fact that we're hardening our hearts, perhaps an investigation of why that is. Are we justified in that hardening? Is it a place where we can soften a little bit? Or do you even remember why you're hardening your heart towards this person? There's a song that's going to be coming out that has the lyrics. There comes a time in every fight where it's been going on so long, the reasons it all began are far away, and it's ancient news. That sometimes we hold on to these negative aspects of our relationships due to something that may not exist anymore. The person may have changed, you've changed. So those places where we harden our hearts, it is important to investigate them, to discover why it is that we're holding on to that hardness instead of softening ourselves and being ready to accept whoever this person is. I think it goes with the line to allow things to be as they are for now, to accept another person for who they are for now. Maybe that's the way to translate that into our human relationships. So let's get ourselves ready for our meditation, our quiet time. And today we begin our first of the 3 priestly benedictions, where we will ask for blessings and safety at the end, so that we can go back into the world with these wonderful feelings. And so just get yourself comfortable. You don't need to push your breath. We're just allowing our breath to happen naturally. I mentioned this yesterday about nature, that nature has no opinion. Nature exists. It doesn't judge because there's nothing to judge. It just is. And when we concentrate on our breath, then we're going into that kind of place where we become part of nature. And that understanding of, I am just a human being, an animal on this planet that is part of nature, that there's no judgment in my existence. I exist as a creature on this planet. There's nothing to judge there. It just is. So there's something neutral about getting in touch with our breath, that our heart's not hardened, our heart's not open, our heart is just our heart. As a matter of fact, a beating muscle inside of our bodies that are helping us live right at this moment. So let's get into this moment, get into our breath. Let's just do one deep breath to kind of center ourselves, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Sometimes when I do that, it makes me yawn. Okay. I'm going to try to do this delicately. My wife says that I hit the bell too hard. So we're just allowing our breath to happen. Feel it inside your body, the sensations in your body. Can you feel your stomach and your chest fill up with the breath? Sometimes I feel my heartbeat at the tail end of the breath, the place where that nefesh, that turning from breathing in to breathing out to breathing in. What sits in the bottom is that nefesh, that part of our soul that continues to move forward and continues to keep us moving. Our ruach, the wind that leaves from us, and the neshama is the whole of our breath, the in, the out, the in-between time. And we're just breathing and allowing things to be as they are for now. We don't need to change. We don't need to solve. We don't need to do anything but exist in the now. And we don't need to ignore the sensations in our body, just to notice them. It really is incredible, the biological miracle that is us. As your thoughts come into your head and pull you away from concentrating on your breath, there's no judgment here. This is meant to happen. So just bring yourself back to your breath in love and kindness, in chesed. This is a practice. Sometimes it's easier than other times, but it's completely natural and part of our world for our mind to take us away. And part of what we're doing is trying to harness our mind so that we are controlling it, as opposed to just letting our minds run and we're just following behind. So we bring ourselves to our breath. As we've sunk into our meditation, let us finish the last several minutes asking for feelings of blessing and safety with each breath. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. To feel it. I've often asked, why aren't I saying, may you be blessed or may you be safe? Sometimes we are those things, but we don't recognize it, we don't feel it. We're asking to feel what is there. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed each day to recognize the blessings. Each day, recognize that I'm safe. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe and blessed. And let's offer that to ourselves for several breaths. If you'd like to say it out loud, it is helpful. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. And perhaps you could think of someone today who could use blessing, could use safety. Perhaps it is the person that is needy that you see on a regular basis. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe. May you feel blessed and safe. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe. And now let's bring it back to ourselves for several breaths. May I feel. May I feel. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel blessed and safe. And for our final moments, let's just attach once again to our breath. Feel it give us life by entering inside of us and leaving. Each breath a new opportunity for new life. Thank you for joining me today. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe. May you have a beautiful evening.